All right. So you have heard about the properties of acids from your grade 8. Right? Tell me what are the properties of acids?
They dissociate to form H plus bonds.
Properties.
Acidic.
All right. Low pH. It has to be more specific. With pH less than 7. They have pH less than 7. What else? No. What else? What about sour taste they give? What are the other properties? These are acids. Come on. Neutralize with the this. Okay, so you can say they react with metals. Bases. Carbonates. And with metals, they give hydrogen. With bases, water. With carbonates, carbon dioxide and water. Commonly, what? Salt. Right? I make another salt. Other properties. Properties of acids. Properties of acids. I must have done this lesson actually. What about the colors, the indicator colors? The acids give you what kind of colors with indicators? Let's say universal indicator. Acids give you from yellow to let's say yellow to red, greenish yellow to red, right? And phenolphthalein, what's the color? Colorless. Methyl orange?
Red.
Methyl orange, red. Good. What are the other properties of acids that you know? Huh? Acids. Properties of acids, huh? Proton donor, that's the definition. I'm asking properties of acids. Yep. Corrosive. Aren't they? They're corrosive. There may be less or more corrosive depending on concentrations, but they're corrosive. What else? ඇතලා ගන්න පාන ඇසිඩ්ස් ගැන මිනේලි I can't see you. So that's it. pH is less than 7. Pulmonary reactions. Okay, so let's say we have like 5 good qualities of what? Acids. Right? But we wrote acids. But all these properties about acids is due to the presence of what? H plus ions. H plus ions. This H plus ions is the one giving all these properties for acids. That's why when you define acids, so that's why I drew this in the middle as a biggest, because this small tiny H plus ion plays the most important role in the acid properties. Is that clear? So then Definition of acid is what? Methyl, you said, right? What's the definition of acid? Substance. No, two people said this. Substances that dissociate in water.
to form H plus.
Yes, dissociate in water to form H plus ions are called what?
Acids.
Acids. Right? And also proton donors are what? Proton donors are acids. You get my point? That's about acid. Okay, so there are several types of acids. What are the main two types of acid? You know them. Strong acid and weak acid. We have strong acids. What are strong acids? Acids which dissociate fully to give H plus ions and the respective anion. Tell me, what are the three main example strong acids in our syllabus?
HCl.
HCl, nitric and sulfuric. How do we know whether they are strong acids or not? That's it. And these are the strong acids. Right? So if you consider strong acids, they do have all these properties, but they are going to differ from weak acids with few things. What are those few things? If you consider the main points, pH is around, yeah, 1 to 2. Right? But pH is around 1 to 2. Universal indicator color? Red, not orange. Red. Right? So that's about strong acid dissociates fully. Right? And what are weak acids?
Substances which dissociate partially to form H plus ions.
Reversible dissociation. Right? Okay, so let me write this here. Full dissociation. Full dissociation complete dissociation. And this is reversible or slight dissociation. Dissociation. Example, ethanoic acid. When it dissociates, remember you just have to break the H plus away. Right? And what's going to remain? CH3, COO minus and H plus A plus. But the other will be not clear. You're going to draw infographic straight away. Right? What are the examples for weak acids? Weak acids are the examples there.
Methanol is
Not bad. Methanoic acid. Methanoic acid. Very good. How do you get methanoic acid into them? Huh?
they have verdicts.
Where? Methanoic acid. Okay, they are very close. Yeah, any more examples? Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid is a weak acid which dissociate partially to give hydrogen. All right. What are the main differences? pH? pH is around 3 to 5. Right? And what about the universal indicator colors? Yes, yellow, orange. Okay, so the most important thing related to acids should come to your head is the acid is basically consists of H plus ion and another anion. Right, so any anion you can simply convert into an acid. Okay, right? So for example, sulfate ion, target anion ekada. Whose anion is sulfate ion? Sulfuric acid. Nitrate ion, phosphate ion, phosphoric acid. Another weak acid you can know is phosphoric acid. All right, tell me anything that we need to know about acids. Reactions. We already wrote they can react like this, right? So if you write the reactions, you must be able to write and completely balance them. The first reaction, metal plus acid, gives you salt plus hydrogen. Any special point regarding this reaction? Any special point regarding this reaction you need to remember? Any special point that you need to remember regarding this reaction? No? Yes? Sorry? This is not a neutralization reaction. That's a good try, by the way. This is not neutralization. Mokada. Hydrogen hadenne. Make a redox එකක්. This is a redox reaction. Because hydrogen was +1 in the acid, it turns into hydrogen gas. This is a redox reaction. This is a displacement reaction. For a redox displacement reactions කියලා page එක පෙන්වන ගමන් ඔයාලට මතක් වෙන්න ඕනේ reactivity matters. මොනවද metals මේකේ react කරන්නේ නැත්තේ? Below hydrogen metals react කරන්නේ නැහැ. අනිත් ඔක්කොම react කරනවා. Right? What are the below hydrogen metals? Below hydrogen metals. Reactivity series එක below hydrogen කවුද ඉන්නේ? Come on. Coinage metals එහෙමනේ කියලා දුන්නේ. මොනවද coinage metals? Zinc නෙවෙයි. Iron. Below hydrogen. Yeah. Coinage metals. Silver. Well, you have your tin can. Tin can. Copper. Gold. Copper, silver, gold. Like මතක තියාගන්න කියව මොන කෝඩ් එකකටද? Value එක වැඩි වෙන කෝඩ් එකට. Copper, silver, gold. Mercury තොන්න තියෙනවා. Mercury එකට ගැලපෙන්නේ නැහැ. But anyway, it's not in the syllabus also. So they don't react. Any other metal react. For example, magnesium plus HCl. I don't have to explain you. It's going to be magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. So you put 2 here and balance. What about zinc and sulfuric? What are the product? Zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas. What about aluminium and nitric? Aluminium nitrate. Metal acid reaction giving you salt and hydrogen. Remember, this is not neutralization, right? However, whatever the metal is going to react with acid, finally, the ionic equation is this, right? Let me take metal as M, which valence is 2. Let's assume valence is 2, but metal in the metal form doesn't matter, and it reacts with 2H plus ions. A equals metal become M2 plus if it is 2 plus, and then release what? Hydrogen gas. Called oxidized readily. Who's getting oxidized? Who's getting oxidized? Metal or H plus? H plus oxidation or metal oxidation or metal, correct. Right? Metal oxidation or metal 0. Product side again M2 plus. This is what we call productive studying, productive short note forming. Right? Come up relate karna knowledge central concept make it relate karna. This is what you call effective study. right? So this is 0, this is +2, thereby this process is oxidation. And here hydrogen ion is reduced. That's why you call this redox reaction. Okay? Right. Then what can be done? Our metal reaction, metal plus base. Then base, there are two types of bases. Oh, sorry. Acid plus base. Acid plus bases. Right? There are two types of bases. What are the two types of bases? There are water soluble bases, water insoluble bases. We are learning that in the next slide. Right? Let me focus on that in the next slide. So for example, you can write magnesium oxide, which will give you magnesium chloride and water. Then make a ionic equation. I don't want to emphasize on the state symbol here. I just want to give you kind of an unofficial ionic equation, right? Make a ionic equation like a O2 minus. You have O2 minus. These bases have O2 minus and that reacts with 2H plus, give you what? Water. The exact ionic equation definition because oxide ion is usually in the solid state. We can't separate it and write it. But anyway, just to get an idea, I write it. Next ones, let me write sodium hydroxide plus HCl aqueous. You get sodium chloride aqueous and water, right? So this is H plus aqueous plus hydroxide ion aqueous, giving you H2O liquid. So this is the second type of what reactions that acids mainly do. What the third type of reaction? The answer board එක බෝඩ් එකේ තියෙනවා. මොනවද මෙච්චර දාහම හිටියේ? මේ පැත්ත කියලා දීලා අර පැත්තට යනකොට මේ පැත්ත අමතක වෙනවා නම. අමතක වෙනවා විතරක් නෙමෙයි පේන්නේත් නැහැ. මේ බෝඩ් එකේ තියෙනවා what's the third reaction? Carbonate and acid में මෙතන ලිව් එක තියෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Okay.
So that is neutralization reaction.
This is neutralization. Make a define current from neutralization reaction. I make a neutralization can. That's because not just because of acid base. When the water formation starting from what? H plus and OH minus or H plus and O2 minus is called neutralization reaction. Right? And finally we have carbonate and acid reaction. Acid plus carbonates. These are the main reactions, but there are more other reactions as well. Acid carbonate reaction. Remember, carbonates are not considered as bases. They are basic salts, right? So here we have HCl aqueous with calcium carbonate. What are the products you get? Calcium chloride, carbon dioxide and water. Right? The make ionic equation since calcium carbonate is a solid, you must write it as it is. And chloride ions are in both sides aqueous, you can skip them. You write calcium 2 plus, carbon dioxide gas and H2O. Okay, so almost everything about H plus in one slide. Clear about acids in one slide. Anyway, I'll try to give you STT one so that you can practice what you learn here. Methane definitions there. H plus donors are acids and substances that dissociate in water produce H plus is also called acids. H plus donor in the reaction, if If a substance is providing H plus ions, they are acids. Here and not. The weak acid, example. H3PO. On a CH3 C double OH. CH3 C double OH. You call it ethanoic acid. You'll be learning them in the organic in detail, don't worry. Acids and bases. I can take it up. I had only Done? Did you write everything? Either? What? Are reactions of the touch? Correct? වැඩේ කලින් ඉවරයි කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි අඩුපාඩුවක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ නිදිමත එළියන්නේ. කම්ප්ලීට් කර බැලන්ස් කරන්න. කලින් ඉවරයි කියන්නේ මොකක් හරි අඩුපාඩුවක්. දීපු කලර් දාන්න පාරට. No. Based on O2 minus. O2 minus it? Sorry? No, it's not a base. It is a basic salt. It's a basic iron of a basic salt.
The metal oxide, the metal hydroxide,
Are bases. And ammonia.
So then every iron is an oxide. Base.
Sorry?
Every iron is a base.
No. Every can constant and then I lose. Are bases. Others are not. Okay. All right, so let's go to the bases. Shall we? You need more time? Anyway, I'll share a screenshot with you. All right. So then the topic is bases. Right, bases. So what are bases? Minali? Right, so what are bases? Definition. No,
So which one is?
no. Proton, proton acceptor, that's one way of defining. Other than that, what is a base?
Substance that dissociatively give original cells.
No. What's a base? There are two definitions. One definition given by Letuki. Proton acceptor. What is meant by proton acceptor? It will react with H plus. Here, there's a definition.
Can we say reactive acid nuclear?
That's the definition. A base is a substance that reacts with acid to give salt and water. That's the definition. So base doesn't have a definition like the acid definition. Right? The proton acceptor is one good definition. Base is a substance, right? React with acids to give salt and water. This is the definition. So these two are the definition of bases. Yeah.
Sir, can't bases react with metals?
Bases reacts with amphoteric metals. So here are the two definitions of bases. Right? So there are types of bases. That's what we need to know next. There are types of bases. What are types of bases? We have metal oxides. Right? Example, sodium oxide. Let me give you examples from different metals. I mean, different types of metals. Calcium oxide, copper oxide. These are metal oxides which are bases. The end of right? And out of them, some of them are insoluble. And if you have metal hydroxides, they are also bases. Metal hydroxides, they are also bases. Examples, hydroxide, sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, and copper hydroxide. They are bases. Right? So out of these hydroxides, you have some hydroxide which are soluble. The others are insoluble. So if you consider these hydroxides, out of this hydroxide, if I consider the sodium hydroxide, this is a soluble base. This is a soluble base. The soluble bases are also called what? Alkalis. What do you call them? Alkalis. Soluble bases are called alkalis. Right. Now these alkalis have special properties and important stuff that we need to know. Soluble bases, right? They are called alkalis. Right. So if they ask what's an alkali, you can say it's a soluble base. But now when it comes to alkalis, we have different definitions. What's the definition of alkali? Alkali is a substance. Write the definitions in red, orange. Here is the definition for alkalis. Substance that dissociate in water. Substances that dissociate in water to give what? Hydroxide ions. To give hydroxide ions. There are bases which are not giving always what? Hydroxide ions. Out of them, there are some soluble bases. Yeah, water will dissolve the hydroxide ion. Okay. Right? And that's the definition of what? Alkalis. Right? So if you are talking about the bitter taste and the properties of alkalis, that is due to these hydroxide ions. That is due to this hydroxide ions. Hydroxide ions. Like H plus ions on the active species, acid on the active species, H plus. Bases on active species, it can be O2 minus ion. Oxides on O2 minus ion, hydroxides on OH minus. But when a base dissolves in water, they are only hydroxides. But not all hydroxides are soluble. The soluble hydroxides, they are called alkalis. Alkalis are a definition of the substances that dissociate in water to give hydroxide ions. Is that clear? Right? So under that examples, let's say sodium hydroxide, when you put into water, it gives you sodium ions and hydroxide ions. And this is a full dissociation. Can you see the arrow? Can you see the arrow? So this is a complete dissociation. If this is a complete dissociation, then how can you name that particular alkali? The alkali is here number. It's a strong alkali. It's a strong alkali. Do we have weak alkalis? We have. What are weak alkalis in the syllabus? Ammonium hydroxide. Right? A metal hydroxide acid base is a kind of a jumbled information. Right? Connection. Ammonium hydroxide is kind of a weird base because it doesn't have a metal related. Is that clear? So make a dissociate partially. It will give you what? Ammonium ions and hydroxide ions. Right? Make a current and they are sodium oxide is a, you can say it's soluble base. Sodium oxide on a prashni the water will dissolve in the hydroxide venom. Out of O levels. Sodium oxide water will dissolve in the hydroxide, sodium hydroxide venom. So the solution is hydroxide. Is that clear? Okay. So then so complete dissociation, as I told you, this is a strong alkali. Yeah.
So pH 7 should we put it on a basis or above 7?
Neutral.
Alkalis or bases?
Right? Strong alkalis. Strong alkalis can, what are the properties? pH above, sorry, pH above 7. pH above, strong alkalis, strong alkalis. Strong alkalis means pH around 14 to 12. Strong alkalis. Right? Universal indicator color. Universal indicator color. Purple. Weak alkalis pH is around 11, let's say 10 to 12. Right? Universal indicator color is what color? Blue. Universal indicator color is blue. Right? Okay. So this is a reversible dissociation. And alkalis properties, what are the properties? Bitter taste. What about the pH? Above 7. Right? කාගෙත් එක්කද alkalis react කරන්නේ? Syllabus එකේ normally නැහැ. නමින් acids එක තියෙනවා, right? Acid එක react කරනවා. Amphoteric metals, amphoteric oxides, non-metals. But we don't learn that we did like that. That's there no. අපි reactions එක වෙනම දැන් තියෙනවා. Right? So then bitter taste pH above 7 ඉන්නවා. කොහොමද කියලා බලමු. So weak acid. So are you clear about the acids and bases? So then may bases or reactions, so we'll write down the reactions now. Right? So when you write down the reactions, not only the reactions of alkalis, but also reactions of bases. Right? Then Mangahan Prashnita answer then are all bases alkalis?
No.
Are all bases alkalis? No. Are all alkalis bases?
Yes.
Are all alkalis bases? Yes, they all are bases because they react with acids to give salt and water. Right? All alkalis are bases, but some bases are only alkalis because of soluble bases, which gives hydroxide bases. Are you have reactions, Balu? So here we have sodium oxide, HCl. මොකක්ද එන්න ඕනේ? Sodium chloride and still water. If you write the reaction between sodium hydroxide and HCl, what you should get? Still sodium chloride and water. Right? That's why you say hydroxide or oxide, they both will give you the same products. Right? So make a balance to 2HCl2. Okay, so then what about magnesium oxide, nitric products magnesium product magnesium oxide is reactant. Salt එක හිතන්න. කොහොමද salt එක හිතන්නේ? Acid එකේ anion එක හිතන්න. මොකද anion එක? Nitrate. නේ? Base එකේ cation එක හිතන්න. එතන මොකද එන්න ඕන product එක? Magnesium nitrate. Right? හැබැයි ඒක ලියනකොට valency careful වෙන්න. Because nitrate's valency is 1, magnesium valency is 2. Right? A valency කියන එක නම් ඕගොල්ලෝ හැමතිස්සෙම entertain කරන mind එකේ. Right? Product එක ලියනකොට මේ පැත්තේ number එක බලන්නේ නැහැ. Maybe the 100 times I'm saying this. You look at the valency. Magnesium valency is 2, nitrate valency is 1. ඒක මතක තියෙන්න. Right? And then you get. Okay, so these are acid-base reactions which you should know properly. Let me give you magnesium hydroxide and nitric acid. Right? Let me give you some hard questions. Sodium hydroxide and phosphoric acid, H3PO4, and copper oxide and sulfuric acid, copper 2 oxide and sulfuric acid. Okay, so you can complete those reactions and write down the bases. You need to know your solubility rules. But anyway, let me give you a list of list of alkalis to know list of alkalis, right? Normally group 1 hydroxides are alkalis. Group 1 hydroxides, right? Sodium hydroxide, lithium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. And under group 2, not all, barium hydroxide is an alkali. All are strong alkalis. Right? They are strong. Okay? කී දෙනෙක් බලන්න ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ knowledge එක කොච්චර refresh වෙනවද සමහර අය සමහර ඒවා දන්නෙත් නැහැ. මේ කරන්නේ it will bring you a lot of marks in the semester exam, I'm pretty sure. And the weak alkali that I told you, ammonium hydroxide or ammonia, H+ ammonia, that's a weak alkali. මේගොල්ලෝ තමයි ඔයගොල්ලෝ alkali විදියට දැනගන්න. And rest of all the metal oxides are bases except for amphoteric ones. All right. Enough time. Let's go to the next one. So now you know acids, you know bases, properties, alkalis, the differences, and all these things, right? It's a quick revision on that. Now we will talk about salts. Salts. The best thing to know about salts is this. Many of us know the salts are the products of acids base reactions. We know that. හරියටම definition එක හිතුවත් මොනවාද salts no need to remember these definitions for salts anyway, right? They are ionic compounds, right? The definition of salts will be they are ionic compounds. They are ionic compounds, except for oxides and hydroxides. Oxides and hydroxides. එහෙනම් ඒවා salts. Hey, oxides and hydroxides නම් මොනවාද? They are what?
Base.
They are bases. Right? Especially metal oxides and hydroxides are bases. Anything else? ඕන ionic compound එකක් හිතන්න මොකද ionic compound එකක් කියන්නේ හිතනවනේ මොකද්ද? A compound made of metal and non-metal. Right? So non-metal එක base එකක් වුණා, then the metal oxide. Then it's not a non-metal එක oxygen වුණා, it's a metal oxide. Then it's a base. Is that clear? So apart from what? Apart from oxides and hydroxides, all the ionic compounds are ionic compounds. You can call them what? They are salts. But how can you make salt? Salt එකක් හදන්නේ කොහොමද? Yes, can you tell me like at least 6 different ways of making a salt? I mean reactions. Sorry, metal plus acid. ඊටත් කලින් එකක් තියෙනවා. එතකොට එන්නේ hydroxide. ඒ salt එන්නේ. Salt එකක් හදන්න පුළුවන් basic reaction එක කියන්නේ. Metal and acid. That's the second one. Metal plus acid. Metal plus acid. Metal and non-metal. Metal plus non-metal. හැබැයි ඒ non-metal එක මොකක් වෙන්න බැරිද? That non-metal can't be what? Oxygen. එතකොට ඒක metal oxide එක. Metal, for example, sodium and chlorine, potassium and chlorine, magnesium and sulfur. හදින්නේ මොනවාද? ඔක්කොම salts. හරි දැන් කියන්න මම දැන් අද ලිස්ට් එක කියන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් ඒවා මොනවාද? Acid plus
Base.
acid plus base. Good. Acid plus carbonates. අන්න හරි. ඒක අතනදි කියන්න බැරි වුණානේ මට. I couldn't explain you the reaction of base. ඒක මට ඉතින් ලියන්න බැරිලා මේ. ඒක මෙතනට මම දාන්නම්. Right? This. Even a normal base plus ammonium salt. Ammonium salt, you get salts. තව තියෙනවා reactions ඕන තව කියන්න පුළුවන්. Acids plus sulfides, acids plus hydrogen carbonates. However, remember minimum these reactions, right? When I say acid plus base, I prefer you guys remember as acid plus oxides, metal oxides, and acid plus metal hydroxide. With the reactions here, the third again. With the reactions they got there. Is that clear? Right? All right. So that's how you prepare salts. After the reactions, stick a little with the way over. Correct? Okay. Then what again? One magnesium chloride. If I want to make magnesium chloride. Here about reactions magnesium animalist. Right. So my focus is magnesium chloride. In order to produce magnesium chloride, what can I react? Magnesium plus chlorine gas. Then make chlorine gas Cl2 magnesium chloride to the Cl2 in the magnesium chloride formula Cl2 in the chlorine gas and Cl2 why? Because that's the formula of chlorine gas. Right? And then our reactions get magnesium plus HCl giving you magnesium chloride and hydrogen. I'm not balancing. Magnesium here, oxide plus HCl giving you magnesium chloride and water. Okay, magnesium hydroxide and HCl gives you magnesium chloride plus water. How can reactions? Magnesium carbonate plus HCl will give you what? Magnesium chloride. Come on. Carbon dioxide and hydrogen, carbon dioxide and water. Our reaction again. Yeah, good. Yeah. Ammonium. Okay, magnesium oxide plus ammonium chloride. What do you get? Magnesium chloride, ammonia and water. We then take a don't worry, right? Because we learned ammonium salts and bases will give magnesium chloride and water. Magnesium sulfide. We know sulfides reacts with acids to give the particular salt and sulfur dioxide and water. Carbonate the reactions here reactions here you can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, sharp knowledge at the syllabus reactions when you're going to produce the salt. Is that clear? Right? If I make a copper chloride. If I write this for copper chloride, then higher level understanding. Copper chloride or other reactions can just mimic this. Copper plus chlorine. Acceptable? Yes. Metal, non-metal reactor. No. Right? Either reaction listen. Make a banana. Make a format take. A format taking copper chloride, copper 2 chloride. Copper and HCl. Right. Copper and HCl. Copper chloride and hydrogen. Agree? Then we have a pattern but pattern blindly follow I may reaction second that copper is below hydrogen in the reactivity series. If you want to metal react acid react. Therefore, this reaction looks fine, but due to the reactivity series, it doesn't happen. They're not here. There's a there not. Right. The only decisions got only. Only reactions right. And the Iraq can make out the okay. Copper oxide plus HCl, then it will be copper chloride and water. Then tagal again and copper hydroxide plus HCl. May what issues metal redox reaction redox reactions and reactivity series Anitya utilization. Ever person reactive unreactive they will react. Is that clear? Right? Make copper. You can write all the rest of 3 reactions. Right? Then let's say you are going to make potassium chloride. potassium chloride හදනවට මොනවද use කරන reactions? Potassium plus chlorine. තව මොනවද reactions? Potassium chloride හදන්න පුළුවන් reactions කියන්නේ තව. Potassium plus HCl. Potassium chloride and hydrogen gas. හැබැයි ළමයි මේ දෙකම use කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඇයි ඒ? Too reactive, too violent. ඇයි potassium කියන්නේ අර දෙන්න වගේ නෙමෙයි. මාර reactive metal එකක්. Explode වෙනවා. So these are practically we are not doing in the laboratories. Right? ඒකින්ද මේ වගේ මේ metal එකකට මොකක්ද හොඳ? Potassium oxide plus HCl plus Cl. Potassium carbonate plus HCl. දැන් formula එන හැටි බලන්න formula එන්නේ polyatomic ion එකේ charge එක හැටියට hydroxide -1 potassium 1. Basically can you follow it now? Right? You are not in the very first lessons. Maybe. So then formula and stuff, maybe you are struggling, right? Or you can write then potassium hydroxide or potassium oxide with what? Ammonium chloride. එක ටිකක් අමාරු එකක් එකපාරට හිතන්න. ඒක salt preparation වලදී usually අපි use කරන්නේ නැහැ. Don't worry about it. Is that clear? And what else? Potassium sulfide plus HCl. පුළුවන් ද reactions ලියන්න? ලියලා balance කරන්න. Right? then one salt. I'm like explaining you like 4 different types of method, 4 different examples of like salt generating reactions. මේ salt preparation නෙමෙයි. මේ salt හදන්න පුළුවන් reactions. Right? Through what reactions you can make salt. Let me ask you this question. Fourth one, how can you make ammonium chloride salt? මෙයාව හදන්නේ කොහොමද? Ammonium chloride salt එක හදන්නේ කොහොමද? මේකේ non metal නැහැ. මේකේ ඉන්නේ ammonium chloride විතරයි. මෙයාව හදන්න පුළුවන් ammonia plus chlorine බෑ. ammonia plus කවුරු විතරද? HCl. ammonia වෙනුවට ammonia aqueous use කරොත් ammonium hydroxide plus what? HCl. You get ammonium chloride plus water. ඔන්න හදන්න පුළුවන් methods. වෙන විදියක් නෑ. ammonium salt එකක් හදන්න ආවොත් water definitely පාවිච්චි කරන්න වෙන්නේ මොන reaction එකක්ද? Complete neutralization reaction. Right? තේරුණාද බලන්න? හරි. එහෙනම් අපි මේකේ salt story එක ලියන්න පටන් ගමු මෙහෙම. ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේ list එක complete කරලා ඉන්න. Right? This is not salt preparation. These are the reactions that give you salts. Reactions that give you salt. මේ lesson එක unique method එකකට කරන්නේ. Right? මේ theories ටික කරන්න ළමයි theory class එකේ දවස් 3ක් යනවා. It takes 3 days. හරිද? එක දවසක් acids, අනිත් දවසේ bases and salt, third day salt preparation. ඔයගලන්ට එක්ක මේක එක දවසෙන් දෙන්න හදන්නේ. සුළු lesson එකක්. You need to balance. I haven't balanced the equations. ये cancel करे I के ना लिया तो make a redox. Copper is less reactive. Copper is less reactive than hydrogen. Taking the displacement when the back. These are two violent reactions, so then we don't use it. Two violent reactions.
Therefore, the potassium hydroxide, you need to mix potassium and water.
Potassium hydroxide.
So,
But potassium hydroxide is not a salt, so we don't do salt preparation. Potassium hydroxide क्या salt है करने में? Balance. Nitric acid. Chloride adenne. Definitely you must use HCl if you are making chloride salt. I mean, if you are not using magnesium and non-metal reactions. Right? So it's all about like reactions of acids. Reactions of acid master thought accurately reactions the reactions only thing is balancing and the formula writing. Right, so here you must have written copper 2 carbonate plus HCl, giving you copper 2 chloride, carbon dioxide, correct under water. So you can write. Make a liandepa, copper oxide and ammonium chloride, don't write. That doesn't happen. Copper sulfide plus HCl. සමහර ඒවා තියෙනවා ඔයගලන්ට තාම එකපාරට ඩිසයිඩ් කරන්න බෑ. That's quite normal. You get SO2. Yeah.
So normally aluminium is reactive with HCl, right?
Both.
Yes, sir, but shouldn't it be reactive because it should have that oxide there?
Oxide layer is also oxide that reacts with HCl. ඉතින් ඒක අයින් වෙලා aluminium expose වෙනවා aluminium react කරනවා. Acids එක react කරනවා aluminium oxide layer එක තිබ්බත් නැත. Because aluminium oxide is also kind of a base. It can react with HCl to give neutralization. Then aluminium expose aluminium reacts with HCl. All right, so let's move into salt. Now there are different types of salts. That's what you need to understand. We can divide salt as soluble salts in water, right? Can you tell me all the soluble salts in water? What are the soluble salts in water? Group 1 salts. May munada me api liyanne? Solubility rules. Tava? Ammonium salts, nitrate salts, hydrogen carbonate salts, all of them are but fully soluble in water. And some, but halide salt, chloride, bromide, iodide, they are soluble. Sulfates are soluble, right? They are soluble. Within a soluble salt, some of them. Since we are not very sure, that's why we need to write insoluble salts. What are insoluble salts?
Sir?
Yeah.
There should be some exceptions in group 1.
Insoluble salts. What are insoluble salts? Silver chloride, silver bromide, come on, silver iodide, under sulfates, barium sulfate, lead sulfate, and all, carbonate salts. Carbonate, wrong except group 1 and ammonium. Wait, water organic. Right, tell me more ways of dividing salts. Yeah, we have what? Anhydrous salts. Anhydrous, that means let's say copper sulfate, just this, and what salt? Hydrated salts. What are hydrated salts? Compounds like copper sulfate dot 5H2O में water molecules crystal එක ඇතුලේ. Okay, right? So then water hydrated salt එකක් හදනවා නම් මොකක් හරි method එකකින් it must be what? That method must be crystallization. If you don't make it through crystallization, you can't get the hydrated salt. Anhydrous salt එකක් හදනවා නම් definitely what? It should be evaporation. ඔයාගේ knowledge එක salt preparation එකට build වෙන්නේ මේ විදියට. Okay, right. What are other types of salt? You can divide salts in many ways, right? Acidic salts. What are acidic salts? Salts of strong acid and weak bases like ammonium salts, ammonium chloride, ammonia weak base, HCl strong acid. එතකොට salt එකේ තියෙන මොන properties? Acidic properties. Basic salt. What are basic salt? ඔගොල්ලෝ තනියෙන් තව එක example එකක් ලියන්න ඕනේ මෙතනට. හරි? Basic salt. Sodium carbonate. Why it is basic salt? හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ කාගෙන්ද? Sodium hydroxide කියනුවේ carbonate වෙන්නේ මොන ඇසිඩ්ද? Carbonic acid. එහෙනම් තේරෙනවද? Sodium hydroxide කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මේ base එක. Strong base. Carbonic කියන්නේ මොන වගේ ඇසිඩ් එකක්ද? Weak acid. එහෙනම් කාගේ properties දෙයක් තියෙනවද? Basic properties තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Strong base එකේ properties තියෙන්න ඕනේ. හැබැයි basic, not strong, but basic properties. තව මොනවද තියෙන්නේ salt? Neutral salt. The neutral salt හැදෙන්න ඕනේ කාගෙන්ද? Neutral salts හැදිලා තියෙන්නේ කාගෙන්ද? Neutral salts are from strong acids and strong base. So then you can divide salts in many different ways. Is that clear? Anhydrous, hydrated, acidic salts, basic salts, neutral salts, and neutral salts. Right? Okay. So that's mainly about salts, but reactions of salt. Of the reactions for salts, the reaction for one. That's a very important one. Reactions of salts. Mute කරන්න මේ දෙවිද එක සැරයක් වැදුණා. Right, reactions of salts. It's okay. Yeah, okay. Reactions of salt. Okay. First one. What? Displacement reaction. Then tamat api karla තියෙන්නේ මේවා. Displacement reaction. Displacement reactions. What's displacement reaction? Redox reactions. Let's say you put magnesium into salt of what? Copper sulfate. මොකද වෙන්නේ? metal එක displace වෙනවා, අලුත් salt එකක් හැදෙනවා, magnesium sulfate. Redox reaction. Right? Our reaction එකක් කියන්නේ salt precipitation. Precipitation. That means two salts react to give insoluble salt, precipitations. Like sodium chloride, it's a soluble salt, plus silver nitrate soluble salt, and will give you what? Silver chloride precipitate and water. Similarly, ammonium salts and bases. Right? Third one, ammonium salts and bases. Ammonium salts plus bases. Always you get, let's say, ammonium nitrate, calcium calcium oxide. You get calcium nitrate, ammonia and water. So, ඔයගලන්ට පේනවා මේ lesson එක lazy වගේ පෙවුනට තියෙන මේ information load එක. Then yeah. ඒක organic chemistry lesson එක ළමයි. It is No. Organic chemistry, it's definitely logical. මිනිස්සු කිව්වට ඒක බයි හાર્ට් කරන්න තියෙන්නේ කියලා ඒක logical. Organic chemistry lesson එකට ළමයි දවස් 6ක් යනවා. නෑ දවස් 6ක් නෙමෙයි.
මේකට 3ක්
දවස් 7ක් යනවා. ක්ලාසස් 7ක් යනවා organic chemistry lesson එක ඉවර කරන්න.
දෙකක්
පැය 14ක්. මෙහෙමයි. පැය 3ෙන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. organic chemistry lesson එක මට කරනවා නම් ඕගොල්ලන්ට පැය 3ෙන් මට කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඕගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් වෙයිද කියලා කියන්න දන්නේ නැහැ මම.
කලවන්න.
හරිද? ඒ වගේ නිකන් අනවශ්‍ය try කරන්න ඕනේ නෑනේ. පැය 14ක් යනවා organic chemistry completely කරන්න. දැන් මොකක්ද අපි කරන්නේ? salt කියලා හිතාගෙන පාට pop up වෙනවා ගන්න එපා mind එකට. I have shared a picture about the salt preparation summary in the chat. You can download that and print it if you want. But anyway, I'll be asking you to summarize it now as well. මොකද දැන් මේ lesson එක compress කරලා තමයි දැන් deliver කරලා තියෙන්නේ. තව half an hour ඕනේ completely කරගන්න. ඒක අමාරුයි සම්පූර්ණයෙන් කරගන්න. But this is like good enough to handle most of the questions. So, summarize කරන්න. මම මේ organic වලට කලින් එක දවසක් මේකේ STT discussion එක කරන්න. හරි.
So why didn't we do this lesson earlier?
Hmm?
Why didn't we do this lesson earlier?
ඒක කරා නම් දවස් 3ක් කරනවා. මේක දවස් 3ක් කරනවා ඒක කරන්න. It doesn't worth the trouble. ඒකයි කරන්නේ. දවස් 3ක් කරා නම් අපි සිලබස් එකේ මාසයක් පිටිපස්සෙන් ඉන්නේ. Monday class එකට ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරා මොකද? මොකද? සමරි එකක් දුන්නේ නේ. ඒක තමයි මම එහෙම වගේ එකක් තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරේ. සමරි එකක් කරේ. මොකද දන්නවද මේක දැන් මේකේ metal non metal acid base acid carbonate reactions අපි general equations වලදී කරා. ඒ lesson එකේදී කරා. acid base properties format ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉස්කෝලේදී කරනකොට ඕක එච්චර ලොකු දෙයක් නෙමෙයි ඕක. කාලයක් ගියාට පස්සේ තමයි ඕක මතක නැත්තේ හරියට. හරි. That's why I didn't do එහෙම කරා නම් අපිට environmental chemistry කරන්න වෙන්නේ extra දවස් 10ක්. නේද? ඒකයි මම මේක කරේ නැත්තේ. මේක කරන්න ගත්තොත් අනිවාර්යෙන් මම මාසයක් ලඟ වෙන්න කරනවා මේ lesson එක. ඒ salt preparation එක ඔයගලන්ට කොච්චර ඒ දවස්වල මම කොච්චර හොඳට කියලා දුන්නා ඔයගලන්ට ඒක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් තේරෙන්නේ. දැන් ඕක තේරෙනවා මොකද you have been exposed to this, you have tried to understand it, you have written some answers. දැන් පටස් ගන්න. ඒක වෙනම part එක. That's the ඒකයි මම කියන්නේ. පැය දෙකෙන් compress කරන්න බෑනේ පැය 6ක්. maximum පැය 3කට compress කරන්න ඕන. ඉතින් මේකේ second part එක සමයිට ආපහු organic chemistry ඔක්කොම ඉවර කරාට පස්සේ කරන්නේ. දැන් ඊළඟ දැන් ඔයගලන්ගේ exam එක 21st පටන් ගන්නවනේ. 22nd පටන් ගන්නනේ. 22nd පටන් ගත්තම ඉවර වෙන්නේ 29. ඒ කියන්නේ 24th කරන්න බෑනේ. පුළුවන් හැබැයි 24th වුණා කරන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද 25th තියෙන්නේ chemistry 1 and chemistry 2. Except for group 1 and ammonia.
So there you have put PbSO3.
Seriously? Oh, sorry. Anyway, this also insoluble. That's all right, but yeah, sulfate again. Sorry about it. So that's lead sulfide, that is even insoluble. There's nothing wrong with that. Then Nicola. Then when මේකයි කතාව. දැන් ඔයා salt එකක් හදන්න යන්නේ. You are going to prepare a salt. If you are going to prepare a salt, the very first thing is that you need to find out the method of, first of all, you need to find out a reaction. දැන් අපි අර reaction set එකක් ලිව්වනේ මතකයිද ළමයි? Right? you need to find out the reaction. දැන් මම මේ reaction එක choose කරන විදිහ පස්සේ කියලා දෙන්න. මේ තියෙන්නේ salt preparation methods තුන. This is a nice diagram. I downloaded it from somewhere. I downloaded this in 2013. Right? To give this to students in those days. But still, it's so good. Right? Whereby this diagram summarizes all the salt preparation method. One salt preparation method එක කරා මොකද්ද last step එක? Rinse with little distilled water, preferably distilled water or what? Organic solvent if salt is soluble. ඊට පස්සේ dry with filter papers. මොන salt එක ඇදුවත් ඔය දෙක අන්තිමට ලියන්න තියෙනවා. definitely ලකුණක් එනවා. So rinse කරන්න කලින් ඒ කියන්නේ මේ salt crystals හදලා මොනා කරන්න ඕනේ? filter කරන්න ඕනේ. So before washing the crystals, first of all you have to filter. So මේ steps තුන තමයි මොන salt preparation එකේ අන්තිමට තියෙන්නේ. Filter the mixture and obtain the salt. Wash it or rinse it with distilled water. If the salt is soluble, rinse it with water. Right? And dry. ඔතන ලකුණු දෙකක් තියෙනවා. Salt preparation වල ඔතන ලකුණු දෙකක් තියෙනවා. මොන salt එක ආවොත් ඔය ටිකේ තියෙනවා. Right? Smart වෙන්න මතක තියාගන්න. Right? If the salt is an insoluble one, then your life is very easy. Why? Just prepare it. You get salt, filter it, wash it, dry it. Method 3. Method 3 is what? Precipitation. Abhi precipitation karande precipitation. What kind of salt? Precipitation කරන්න insoluble salt එකක් නම් ඔයාට question එකේ හදන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔයාට අග්ගාලා decide කරන්න ඕනේ මම use කරන්න යන්නේ මොන method එකක්ද? Precipitation method එක. ඒක මම දුන්නේ නැහැ අර list එකේ. ඒ list එකේ අපි තන්නේ කර හැදුවේ මොන salt ද? Soluble salt. අර අපි ලිව්වේ copper salt එකක් හදන්නේ ඒ ඔක්කොම soluble salt. Insoluble salt එකක් හදන්නේ precipitate කරලා විතරයි. මොකද්ද golden rule එක? You are going to mix solution 1, you are going to mix solution 2, and you get the precipitate. For example, if you want to make silver chloride, where decide කරන්න ඕනේ silver in a soluble compound එක, HCl in a soluble compound එක. That's the rule. What's the silver containing soluble one? Soluble one, silver nitrate. Right? A nitrate, all nitrates are soluble. Silver in the soluble salt එක තෝරගන්න. Chloride in the soluble compound එක මොකක් හරි කමක් නැහැ. That's the rule. Solution 1, solution 2, get the precipitate. Chloride in the soluble එකනේ කියන්නේ. Chemical soluble එක කියන්නේ. For example, hydrochloric acid, fine. Sodium chloride, fine. Ammonium chloride. Solubility rules. Solubility rules. Right? Now, whether sodium chloride or ammonium chloride are choose karna. May precipitate ammonium nitrate byproduct එක හැදෙනවා. Ammonium nitrate. So filter කරාම filtrate එකට ammonium nitrate එනවා. Salt එක එනවා මෙතන. Right? So these two methods are called what? Soluble salt preparation methods. Right? Any problem? Soluble salt හදන විදිය. මේ තියෙන මොන method එකද? Titration method. This is called excess solid method. මේකට මම ඕගලන්ට shortcut එකක් දීලා යවන්නම් අද. Right? Methods දෙක දැනගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ. Solid එක acid excess solid එක දාන්න ඕනේ acid එකට react කරලා ඉවරනට පස්සේ filter කරන්න ඕනේ ඊට පස්සේ you need to heat and crystallize then crystal should be filtered you know this method ඔයාට වෙලා තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ මොන method එකද choose කරන්න කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ let me give you the shortcut if it is a group on salt to prepare titration group 1 salt එකක් නම් හදන්න තියෙන්නේ දාන්න ළමයි titration. හදන්න තියෙන group 1 salt එක නම් sodium chloride, potassium sulfate, right? And ammonium salts. මොකද එයා හදන්න පුළුවන් titration acid base reactions වලින් විතරයි. මේ shortcut එක. හරි? Any other one excess solid. Choose a solid which is not soluble in water and react with an acid. Right? අපි යමු මේ list එකට ආපහු. Right? මෙයා හදන්නේ දැන් මේ metal non-metal react කරලා salt practically හදන්න බෑ. These are not practical. These are not practical. Not practical. Not practical. Right? දැන් කියන්න මේ magnesium chloride හදන method එක මොකක්ද කියලා? Precipitation ද titration ද excess solid. Titration. මේවා soluble. මේ alkalis ද හලෝ. මේවා titrate කරන්න පුළුවන්.
This is a group one.
Group 1 කොයිද magnesium?
Yeah.
එයා වැඩේ. ගම කාපියක් ආවගේ. මේක මොකද්ද? excess solid. දැන් මෙතනට ගියා. ඉතින් sulfuric hydrochloric acid method. මෙතන දානවා ecozine, zinc oxide, zinc hydroxide, sorry, magnesium oxide, magnesium hydroxide, magnesium carbonate, anything which will react with what? Sulfuric. යමදී එකක් ඔය choose කරගන්න. Right? ඒ මොකද ඒ choose කරගන්න කියන insoluble. And then remove that excess thing, get the solution, heat and get the crystals. Crystals in occur, cool it to get the crystals. Filter, wash, dry. Right? මෙයා වදන්නේ කොහොමද කියන්නේ? Potassium chloride. Kalium titration. ඒතර alkalis එක ගන්න. Alkalis, potassium hydroxide, HCl. Your potassium carbonate is all right. It's also soluble. යාගේ ඔක්කොම soluble නේ. Salt එක soluble. යාගේ compound එක soluble. So titration. Titration එකේ burette එකයි conical flask එකේ තියෙන්නේ. Copper. Precipitation. නෑ මේවා මේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේක බලන්න. මෙයා soluble. They are soluble. Copper chloride is soluble. එනවට පාවිච්චි කරනවා titration method එක කරේ excess solid method එක. මොකක්ද? excess solid. මොකද copper oxide, copper hydroxide, copper carbonate all are insoluble. ඒ කියන්නේ solid එකක් ඉන්නවා solid එක කාගෙත් එක්ක react කරනවා. acid එකත් එක්ක react. Okay. ටික මේක summarize කරනවා. දැන් පොරොට කියන්නේ තව තියෙනවා මේ මිස් වෙච්ච දේවල් පාඩම් කරලා මතක තියාගන්න. හරි. What about ammonium chloride?
Titration.
Sure, titration. Decide කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Can you decide now? Reactions and stuff. Method of preparation. හරි. අපි in detail කරමු වෙන දවසට. හරි? Okay. මේ තියෙන්නේ shortcuts ටික ලියා ගන්න. මේ diagram එක ගෙදරදී මේ copy කරගන්න.
Total them to
ඔකට. Shortcuts ටික ලියා ගන්න. Method 1 titration. Titration කරන්නේ මොන වගේ මේ salt prepare කරන්නද? Group 1 ammonium. Other salts excess solid. If the the salt is insoluble, then precipitation. Those are the three methods. Just have to say if the salt is insoluble, use precipitation method. What's the summary? If the salt is insoluble, use precipitation.
What do you call the second one? Excess?
Excess solid and acid. Right? Without if the salt is insoluble, precipitation, take a golden rule. Look at the golden rule. Mix two solutions to form the precipitate. Mix two solutions. ඒ පොඩි details තමයි ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ mind එකේ හිටින්නේ නැත්තේ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ generation එකේ තියෙන majority එකේ තියෙන ලොකුම ප්‍රශ්නේ ඕක. ඒක overcome කරන්න අය අනිවාර්යෙන් මේ word එක break කරලා A star එකකට යනවා. Right? Golden rule එක use two solutions. Use two solutions. ඒ තමයි third method. First එක titration. Titration පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මොන salt වලද? Soluble salt. But what kind of salts? Group 1 and ammonium salts.
So if they say anhydrous, dry mixture like
එනම් crystallization නෑ. Heat until all solvent is evaporated. ඒ example එකක් විතරයි දීලා තියෙන්නේ. හරි silver chloride. අපි salt preparation full part එක වෙනදා set කරනවා. ඒකට acid base එකක් ඕනේ ඔයාලට exam එකේදී ගොඩක්. Excess solid method එකක් තියා second method excess solid that is also for soluble salt. What kind of salt? Like group 2 salts, transition metal salts. ඒවා හදන්නේ excess solid එකකින්. Group 2 salts, transition metal salts. The reason is their bases are not soluble. එයා soluble වුණාට එයාම හදන base එක soluble නෑ. ඒක insoluble. මේක definitely ගැටෙද්දී මේ steps ටික බලන්න වෙනවා නැත්නම් වැඩක් නෑ. Right?
only speak like that.
දාන්න තියෙන chat.
Sir, I'm a pass page again, okay, now, sir.
Definitely එකක් වෙනවා. හරිද? ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නෝ procedure. Titrate කරන්න, repeat කරන්න, indicate එක නැතුව ඊට පස්සේ crystallize කරන්න. හැබැයි හැමදාම ලියනකොට ලකුණු දෙකක් කැපෙනවා. ඇයි ඒ? වැරදි method එක, වැරදි salt එකට choose කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මේ දැන් දුන්න points තුන දාන්න filter එකක් විදියට. Right? Insoluble salt නම් precipitation. Precipitation නම් golden rule එක use two solutions. ඒකට acid base කතන්දර නෑ. ඕන soluble දෙන්නේ ions දෙක දෙනවා. Right? Soluble salts now methods දෙකයි titration excess solid. If the soluble salt is a group 1 or ammonium salt, use the titration. එතකොට alkalis දෙක පාවිච්චි කරන්න. alkali එක acid එකයි පාවිච්චි කරන්න. Excess solid අර දුන්න list එක metal හරි carbonate හරි sulfite හරි oxide හරි hydroxide. Right? ඒකේ salt එක soluble. හැබැයි වාගේ oxide එක හරි metal එක හරි soluble නෑ. ඒකයි ඒකට මොන කොහෙද කියලා කියන්නේ. Excess solid method කියලා කියන්නේ. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න අපි චුට්ටක් ඒක මේ රිවයිස් කරලා යමු. මම දැන් salt එකක් කියනවා. කොටස් දාලා මට කියන්න මොකද්ද method එක. Lead sulfate. Lead solid is a insoluble salt. Insoluble salt නම් කෙලින් පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? Precipitation. එතකොට lead nitrate, sulfuric acid, lead nitrate, sodium sulfate, lead nitrate, ammonium sulfate වගේ මොන හරි soluble දෙන්නක mix කරාම හරි. ඒකට acid base වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Next one. Ready? Ready? The answer කියන්න ඕනේ. Silver iodide. ඇයි ඔහේ උත්තර දෙන්න එපා දෙහන්සා. දැන් rules කියලා දුන්නානේ පොත බලලා හරි rules බලලා කියන්න. පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ මොකද්ද වගේ හිතට එන්න ඕනේ? ඒක insoluble soluble ද salt එක. silver iodide soluble ද insoluble ද දෙහන්සා. ඔය සෙට් එක වල පාඩම් කරගන්න ඕනේ. ඔයාගේ knowledge එක කොළුවේ නැත්තම් බෑ ඒක කරන්න. silver iodide solubility rules. හිතමු මොකද කියන්නේ? Excess solid. Silver iodide soluble ද insoluble ද කියන හදන්න යන salt එක. ඒක soluble ද insoluble. Insoluble නම් මොකද්ද මෙතන? Precipitation. Excess solid එකක් නෑ ඒක. The precipitation. Right? Let me know about barium chloride. Sarah. ඒක නම් ටිකක් අමාරු එකක්. ඒක methods දෙකකට හදන්න. Excess solid. ඇයි ඔයම choose කරේ? Barium chloride is soluble. ඒතර යාව හදන්න ගන්නේ වැරදි. ඔය choose කරේ precipitation දෙකක්. මේ precipitate නෙමෙයි කරන්නේ. excess solid හරි titration හරි පාවිච්චි කරොත් ඔය යන්න ඕනේ මොනවා වලටද? acid and some other compound, yeah. දැන් අද ලිව්වේ magnesium chloride හදන්න පුළුවන් magnesium chloride magnesium HCl penicillin ඒ සෙට් එකේ එකක් ගන්න ඕනේ. මාර කේස් එක දැන් insoluble mood එකේ ඔයා හිටියේ. soluble salt එක කියලා decide කරා excess solid කියලා decide කරා insoluble salt එකක් හදලා reaction එකක් වෙනවා. කියන්නේ මොකද reaction එක? barium chloride හදන්න නම් ඔයාට ඕන acid එක මොකද්ද definitely? acid එක මොකක්ද ඕන? barium chloride වල ඉන්න acid එක HCl. ඒතර barium අනිත් එක දාන්න ඕනේ barium ගේ base එකක්. මොකක්ද දාන්නේ? barium hydroxide. barium carbonate කියමුකෝ. හරිද? මොකද barium hydroxide is soluble. එතකොට යන්නේ මොකටද? titration එක. barium carbonate එක insoluble. එතකොට යන්නේ excess solid. ඉතින් barium chloride is a salt which can be made from both. Okay. තේරුණාද මම කියන්නේ? ඒක group 1 නෙමෙයි ඒක shortcut එකක් නේ. ඔයාලට අමාරු එකක් දුන්නේ ඒකයි. හරි. ඊළඟ එක කියන්න බලන්න magnesium magnesium. අපි නැතිලට දෙමු එහෙම එකක්. nickel sulfate. nickel sulfate.
precipitation.
insoluble කියලා දීතන්නේ nickel sulfate. මම දුන්නාද nickel sulfate precipitate එකක් කියලා. Sulfates වල මොකක්ද දුන්නේ solubility එක. Sulfates are soluble except for what? Barium and lead. ඒතකොට nickel sulfate soluble insoluble. Soluble. ඒතකොට precipitation method use කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? බෑ. එහෙනම් මොකද්ද use කරන්න ඕනේ? excess solid definitely. මොකද ඒක group 1 salt එකක් නෙමෙයිනේ. එතකොට use කරන්න ඕනේ definitely sulfuric acid එක. nickel ගේ මොකක්ද? nickel ගේ මොකක්ද? nickel hydroxide හරි oxide හරි carbonate හරි හොඳම එක තමයි carbonate. මොකද ඕන carbonate එකක් acid එකක් එක්ක react කරලා මේ salt carbon dioxide water දෙනවා carbon dioxide යන්නේ හින්දා reaction එක වෙනවා පේනවා. ඉතින් oxide හරි hydroxide එකත් okay. Right? carbonate එක better. Is that clear? හරි. තව example එකක් බලන්න. potassium nitrate දෙතුනේ. Titration, right? Straightforward no group 1 salt, titration. Soluble anyway, yaage hydroxide එක soluble. Right? What about lead? Barium sulfate, minerally. Barium sulfate මොකද කියන්නේ? Minerally. Barium sulfate. මොකද්ද method එක? Minerally ඉන්නවද?
Sir, is it excess mass method?
Barium sulfate soluble ද නැද්ද කියන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා මට?
Sir, it's insoluble?
You mean insoluble
Yes.
or soluble? අතන බලන්න list එකේ barium sulfate is what do you say? Insoluble. Insoluble නම් මොකද්ද method එක? Precipitation. මේක මාර් ලේසි හරියට questions දෙකයි අහන්න ඕනේ හිතේ. මම හදන salt එක soluble ද නැද්ද? Insoluble නම් precipitate. Soluble නම් අර දෙකෙන් එකක්. Titration excess solid. Second question එක අහන්න ඕනේ excess solid method එක නම් acid and an insoluble something. Titration නම් acid and alkali. That's all. Shortcut text group 1 ammonium non titration. Other salts excess solid. Insoluble salt precipitation. ඔච්චරයි. Salt preparation. Procedure එක පොතෙන් බලන්න. Okay. එහෙනම් අපි semester exam එකෙන් පස්සේ නේ 24 හම්බෙන්න. Right? ඒක එච්චරම මේ sure කරන්න එපා මම කියනවා. I prefer that you guys have like kind of a rest before the exam. ඒ තාලත් ඇවිල්ලා ඒ ළමයි I'm not may stop right? You have to eat well, drink enough water, have a good rest. Then only brain can take the stress of an exam. Even a rest. ඔගොල්ලෝ දන්නේ rest ගත්තම brain එක එයාට අත්දාලා එයාගේ ඔගොල්ලෝ හදන computer එක defragmentation කරනවා කියලා process එකක්. computer එක slow වෙනකොට අපි defrag කරනවා, disk clean up කරනවා. You know that from your computer. brain එකත් එහෙම කරනවා. right? එයාගේ knowledge එක එයාට අත්දාලා organize කරනවා. ඔයා නිදාගෙන ඉන්න වෙලාවට තමයි ඒක කරන්නේ. ඔයා නිදාගත්තම ඔයාගේ knowledge එක organize කරලා store කරලා තියාගන්නවා. ඔයාට recall කරන්න ලේසි වෙනවා. හරි. ඉතින් නිදාගන්න කලින් ඔයා ඒ දවසේ හොඳටම tired වෙලා නම් it's a mess, quite a mess inside the brain. හරිද? අනිත් එක games ගැහුවොත් නිදාගන්න කලින්, music ගැහුවොත් නිදාගන්න කලින් consolidation process එක වෙන්නේ නැහැ brain එක ඇතුලේ. එතකොට වාගේ ඒ වගේ පොඩි පොඩි දේවල් වලට වැදගත් නෑ. නමුත් මේ වගේ exam එකකට යනකොට ඔයා හොඳ result එකකට යනකොට මේ ඔක්කොම වැදගත් වෙනවා. right? එදිනදා ජීවිතේ වගේ music ගැහුවා එහෙම කරා කියලා ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන්නේ නෑ. game ගැහුවා කියලා. When you are preparing for an exam, වා මොකද කියන්නේ මට වැඩි අමාරු වැඩක් ඔයගොල්ලෝ කරන්නේ. ඇයි? subject 7ක syllabus 7ක් පාඩම් කරලා යනකොට මටත් බෑනේ මට දුන්නත් මම fail වෙනවා. දැන් මේ මොකද කියන්නේ? නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ලොකු වැඩක් කරන්නේ. ඒතර ආගේ brain එකට මේක heavy load එකක්. ඒවා යාව පරිස්සම් කරගන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? ඒකින්ද මම කිව්වේද අර වගේ unnecessary stress දෙන්න එපා brain එකට. exam එකට කලින් බය වෙලා stress වෙලා මුළු දවසම නිදි මරාගෙන පාඩම් කරලා ඒක කරන්න එපා. හරිද? ශාලා හොඳට කාලා නිදාගෙන වතුර පීලා රෙස්ට් කරලා exam එකට එන්න. ඒකද ගොඩක් ගන්න 28 පන්තිය කරන එකක් නැහැ. හරි මොන පාඩි මගේ ආදායමේ මාසේ ආදායම සීරීස් පාඩ් නැහැ. ඔබගේ ක්ලාස් එකේ. That's all right. හරිද? පස්සේ කොම්බි කවර ක්ලාස් එක කරලා ඒක ඉතින් බෝල කරමු. ඊට වැඩි ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ මානසික සෞඛ්‍ය මට වටිනවා. Right? Okay. So I'll see you maybe after this. Right? I'm going to wrap up the meeting. Bye.